when I saw the title, I was a little taken aback. I thought visionary women. I thought, oh, gee. Extraordinary work. Oh, gee.
No pressure.
And then, but I started to think about visionary things, and then I started to think about what you envision for yourself. And I was thinking when I was a kid, my father was a fisherman, and we had a boat, and I envisioned that I would be a sea captain. And my mother worked in a cannery, in a tuna cannery. I didn't envision working in a tuna cannery. And then when I was in high school, I became a pacifist and envisioned that I would stop the Trident nuclear submarine in the Northwest, which didn't quite happen. And then I envisioned doing lots of things with my life. And what I didn't envision was getting a chronic illness in my 30s. And I didn't envision going, writing about that and going to school. And then I didn't envision becoming a teacher of creative writing and ending up as a professor and a writer. So there's these things that you think are going to happen and they don't, and then things that you never imagined would happen and they do. And I realized that one of the things where the vision went, or where the envisioning went, was into the writing. That's the one place one could envision into the future and into the past and into the present, that all of that could happen. And that's where I think where the vision went. So I'm going to read a short piece, and the piece is, I realized when I looked at my work that it was a lot about looking into things or through things or around the corner of things. And I live in Pacifica, and we walk our dogs on the beach every morning, and the great joy is when something comes in that you didn't anticipate would come in. So this is a piece called This Once Bright Thing. Just before dawn, before someone flips the switch, trips the circuit breaker, turns night into day, before light floods the shore, the sand is swept clean, blown clean, cleared of the crumbs left on the carpet of what the cat tracked in, the sea dragged in. On some days, you'll see the footprints of a solitary figure who trudged back and forth along the beach, though this morning there are no footprints, no trail to follow, no breadcrumbs or the other leftovers, bony arms of driftwood, plastic bottles, a length of rope frayed at the end like a ragged wick. You, too, are frayed at the end of your rope. You've come here to find something, anything. And if there's anything to see, you'll see it. You have an unobstructed view. And then, just when you're about to give up, when you're about to turn away, you spot something in the sand. Before you get near, before you take the first step, it's a guessing game. Is it a clear balloon, a discarded jar, a plastic container, a glass float? It looks transparent, something you can see through, a round window, a porthole, which triggers a flash. You were a child, and the neighborhood kid who mowed your grass left a clear glass jug full of gasoline on the back porch, the gas that made the lawnmower go. As the afternoon sun lowered in the sky, the sun's rays glinted off the glass, struck at the right angle, caused a spark, a flame, that licked the sides of the jug, carried up the invisible wick, found the porch, the wall of the house, blew through the back door, came inside. Somewhere across town, fire alarms went off, and somewhere a fireman slid down a pole, and later, after the smoke had cleared, a fireman took you up in his fatherly arms, for your own father was far away at sea, in the middle of all that water, of no use out there. Those waves would never make it to shore on time to put out this flame. As you near the object, you see it's not a jar, a bottle, a float. It's a light bulb in a shape you've never seen. Narrow at both ends, round in the middle, as if someone tried to blow up a balloon, lost heart, and stopped halfway. A tinkerer with the right tools could fit a tiny ship inside this bulb, could raise its sails. That ship could sail along that thin silver line of horizon, the filament, a line that looks as delicate as a spider's web. On the outside of the glass are free floaters, hitchhikers who held on, who came along for the ride, tiny mussels and threads of seaweed and spores, they held on. This object once cast light onto the water. This fragile thing survived rough seas, was tossed about as we are tossed about by dramas of our own and of others' making. And how do we survive? How did this survive? This fragile glass, this once bright thing that glowed and glowed like memory glows and glows before it is snuffed out, before we forget. Here it is now. Pick it up. Hold it in your hands. Look inside. Is he still back there, the fireman, still out there, the sea captain, still at the back door, your mother calling you in from play? And what of the boy who cut the lawn, who looked close now? Can you see him now, mowing the grass, trudging back and forth across the sand, as the seas go back and forth, as you go back and forth, from the present to the past, to this moment, and through it all, the waves continue, the day continues. Through it all, the morning light continues, bright and curved and sturdy as a flame. Thank you.